Welcome to Be in the World Yoga. I'm Christina. We're going to cultivate some heat in our bellies today, making some nice strong core muscles and some strong arm muscles. So let's get started. So take your hands on top of your belly, bringing your attention and your awareness to your core. Take some breaths into your hands, expanding the belly. Release the shoulders on the exhale. You can have your eyes open or closed when you're doing this. One more breath here. Beautiful. You're going to point towards the front of your yoga mat and come into boat pose, Navasana pose. Take your hands to the back of your thighs, lengthen your spine nice and tall. And we're going to bring our ankles to knee height. From here, take another inhale and lift up your spine nice and long. You can flex your feet here, spreading through your toes. Keep the spine long here. Take another inhale and take it down. Cross your legs for a moment here. Take a few breaths. Lengthen your spine. Beautiful. Take your hands to the back of your thighs and lift your ankles up to your knees again. Lengthen your spine nice and long. Few breaths. Breathe into your throat, Ujjayi Pranayama. You can spread those toes. Beautiful. Take it down. Rest your legs here. Gaze forward. Long spine. Send that breath right into your belly, keeping the breaths deep and not short, just remaining in the chest. And then one more time, take your hands to the back of your legs, bring your ankles up, this time lengthen your spine and release the hands. Gaze forward and breathing here, taking some breaths. Keep lifting up through your heart. Few more breaths. Beautiful. Cross your legs and take your hands now underneath your shoulders into tabletop position. We're going to bring our forearms right onto the floor and walk the feet back into forearm plank, lifting up the low belly. Press your hands into the ground and push the front part of your mat away from you to reach through the heels. Take 3 more breaths. You may start to shake, no biggie. Knees to the ground and walk your hands forward as the hips come back over the knees, coming into puppy pose to stretch open the arms. The forehead can be on the floor here. Again to forearm plank, lifting up your low belly. Take a few breaths. Lengthen your spine nice and long. Gorgeous. Exhale it back, knees to the ground, right into puppy pose. Into forearm plank, spread through your hands. Your hands are pressing back. Take a few breaths, lift up those hips. Beautiful. Knees to the ground, child's pose. Walk your hands all the way back behind you. You can make some space between the thighs, forehead to the ground, and take your hands back behind you. Close your eyes and breathe here. Inhale, stretch the arms forward to plank pose. So now the hands are going to press into the ground. Reach the feet back behind you. Lift up the low belly and take a few breaths in plank pose. Reaching your hands, pressing them into the ground. Knees to the ground. And walk your hands a little bit underneath your shoulders here. Inhale, peel your heart open here. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, opening up for cat-cow. Another inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, round. Inhale to tabletop position. And walk your hands forward again to plank pose. Lift up through the low belly. Keep pressing those hands into the ground. Nice long spine here. Nice and strong. Cultivating that beautiful energy, fiery energy in the Muladhara, the third chakra. Knees to the ground. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Peel your heart open. Cat-cow. And walking your hands forward again for plank pose. Reach through your heels. Taking those breaths. Maybe you want to take your knees to the ground for a little break here. Knees to the ground. Walk your hands back, cat-cow. 2 more rounds. Beautiful. Inhale back to tabletop position and untuck your toes if they're tucked. You're going to want to have your feet on the mat for this one. Press the tops of your feet into the ground and then lift up the knees off the ground, curling into the low belly here, curling into the belly, lifting up the tailbone towards the belly button or the pubic bone up towards the belly button. Beautiful. Knees to the ground. Inhale. And exhale. You can have those toes tucked if you want and lift up through the low belly. Or come to the tops of the feet here. Beautiful. Knees to the ground. Peel your heart open. One more time. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. Knees to the ground. Sit back onto your heels and just rest here for a moment. You can give your belly a nice little gentle warm hand hug. Circles with the hands. Some love. Gorgeous. And from here, we're going to inhale the hands forward. Forearms come onto the floor. Tuck your toes. Press your hands into the floor. Make sure those elbows are underneath the shoulders. And lift your hips up to a downward facing dog. So this is called Dolphin Pose or forearm plank here or forearm dolphin here, if you will. And you can walk your feet forward here a little bit. Take a few breaths. Let your head go. And you're going to walk your feet back just about one little foot pad here. Inhale, actually maybe one whole foot pad. Inhale, shoulders over the shoulder, mess that one up, no big deal. Inhale, send your heart forward. Exhale, lift the hips up to the sky. Inhale, coming into forearm plank. Exhale, lift the hips up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Strong. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Knees to the ground. Sit back into child's pose. Take a few breaths here. And take your hands underneath your shoulders. rise on up. Let's open up the chest here and the arms for a moment. Clasp your hands behind your back. Lift up your shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and away from your ears. Slow down your breath. Gorgeous. Release the shoulders. We're going to come back into forearm downward dog or dolphin pose. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift your hips up and back. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to inhale the right leg up to the sky. Take a few breaths, strengthening your arms here as you press them into the ground. And bring that foot down. Left leg reaches up to the sky. Breathing. Exhale, take it down. We're going to walk our feet forward a little bit, probably about 2 steps here. Take a few breaths. And now send your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, take it down. Other side. Exhale, take it down. Knees to the ground. Sit back onto your heels. Beautiful. Take a few breaths. Rub your belly. And we'll come into a nice side plank. So walk your hands forward in tabletop position. A couple of options to do side plank. The first one is the more of a level 1 modifier. You're going to take your right hand, move it over to the side a little bit towards the edge of your mat. And from here, we're going to take that left leg, bring it to center, the same height as your hips here, but point the toe out to the side. Beautiful. Start to lengthen the right leg back and come onto the edge of the right foot. Now you're going to press your right hand into the floor and start to peel the body open here. So you're pressing this right shoulder onto your back and inhale, lift your left hand up to the sky. If you want, look at your left thumb, taking some breaths. Now, if you feel pretty strong in this, you could start to heel toe your left foot back behind you and take it out right in front of your right foot. If you feel even stronger, stack the feet on top of one another. Take a few breaths and then bring it down to the floor, knees to the ground. Walk the hands forward for puppy pose. Opening and stretching the armpits here. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders and try it on the other side. So left hand reaches into the ground, over to the side of your mat. If you're doing the first one, bend that right knee, and then the knee is in line with the right hip. When you're ready, bring the edge of that back foot back. So notice how the edge of that foot is not collapsed. I'm pressing the edge of the foot into the ground and using it actually flexing that foot to lift up here. And then you're going to go to which way you feel comfortable. Take a few breaths. You might start shaking. Beautiful. Exhale, take it down. And if you're shaking, that's great. It means you're opening something that is locked in there. You're letting it release out of you. So just enjoy that shaking. And walk your hands forward to puppy pose. Take some breaths here. Walk your hands back, and we'll do one more fun practice. This one is called crow pose. So it's a very challenging pose, but it's a fun pose and a great pose to have a goal towards and it can take you years and years and years before you feel comfortable in crow pose or you even get there. So don't worry about it, because it's just fun and it's practice. One way is you could take a block and place your feet on top of the block, coming onto the balls of the feet here. See how the heels are touching? Walk your hands underneath your shoulders as you lean forward. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lift up your hips, and then squeeze your knees to the outsides of the top part of your arms. And you'll practice lifting one foot at a time. Squeeze those arms and knees together. Maybe one foot lifts off the ground. Maybe the other does too. Whoop. Could be a not today kind of a thing. You could do that with the block or explore without the block. Squeezing your thighs together. Round yourself here. And you'll find that balance eventually on the hands, where there's just this little strengthening of the hands that helps you to understand the balance of this pose. And it will just come to you one day. If you don't feel it now, don't worry about it. A lot of things is just receiving what it is. So if you can try to let go of any expectations and just be there and receive. Okay? So those are our wonderful core practices for today. I hope you enjoy them and you feel strong in your body and your mind. I hope that those wonderful core practices propel you to do all those wonderful things you want to do, accomplish the wonderful things that you want to do, and remind you of how strong and powerful and smart and amazing you are. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing in your yoga practice with me today. And please remember to share, like, and comment, and also subscribe to us on our YouTube page so that we can give you more wonderful content like this. And also, please check out our website, beintheworldyoga.com. We have a great blog there and just wonderful information to share with you. Have a nice day. Namaste.